And we are live. How's it going, Mets, Padres fans? This is your boy Wardy. That is Borna. We are collabing as myself, again, being the face of Mets fandom for many on YouTube. That is Borna. He's the face for many Padres fans out there. And we're talking about a Mets-Padres game, as this is the biggest series for both clubs entering tonight, heading into the All-Star break. We were at Petco Park. We had to leave a little early to make sure we had our stream set up in time. How sweet it is. The Mets take game one of a three-game set by a final score of 7-5 in extras. Borna's got a lot to say. I got a lot to say. We have a great spot to get into in Wager Lab a little bit later. But if you're watching on Borna's YouTube channel, make sure you're subscribing to him right now. If you're watching WardyNYM, make sure you're doing the same, dropping comments. We'll try to get as many as we can. This is our first dual stream together of the year. How are you doing, Borna?
This is bullshit. So many wasted opportunities. So many wasted opportunities. So many wasted opportunities. And how many times does this team shoot themselves in the foot? I like Ha-Seong Kim's aggression, but if he doesn't turn, of course Juan Soto doubles. Okay? Of course Machado homers in the 10th when it doesn't matter. This team has had impactful hits when it doesn't matter all year long. This team has no clutch gene. They cannot win a fucking game in extra innings. And I have to hear people saying they're 1 to 2 games away from being back. They're not back. They never will be. And AJ Preller's going to buy at the deadline. He's going to buy.
That would be me if the Mets lost this game. Because we know the importance of both these series heading into this matchup. The Padres just swept the Angels. The Mets just swept the D-backs. And on the flip hand, the Padres, again, had a brutal loss. And Borna is very emotional. And we're usually emotional here on the channel, so I certainly can relate. But for Mets fans, this felt good. This was a big one. You know that this felt really good. The offense was early and often. I would like to first shout out, I properly predicted Justin Verlander's final line on Twitter today. I said 6 innings of
that was insane.
3-run ball, 2 earned run, and I said that there would be 1 defensive miscue by the Mets infield that would lead to a run. Pre-game, and Gourmet allowed a run to score. Offensively, though, Francisco Alvarez is the face of the backstop position, the best young phenom in baseball. 4 hits, drove in another run. Francisco Lindor is 8 for his past 10. Pretty effing good. I mean, Vogie was continuing his offensive production as well. The Mets had offense galore from top down when they need it most. Again, wasn't the prettiest game, but they got the job done. We're going to get into numbers a little bit more here, but we're just sharing initial reactions because, Borna, I know you're pissed off, but if there were any positive takeaways at all from tonight, what would one of them be?
That this team has reaffirmed my conviction that they fucking suck. That's the positive. The Padres, we got a massive donation. We got to get to this in a sec. But, you know, guys, here's the deal with this Padre team. You know, we've talked about this all year long. They have moments. They have spurts. But they've never been able to play consistently. What the Mets are doing right now is something that the Padres haven't done. The Mets have won 6 straight games.
For the first time this year. Yeah, they're actually decent for once.
The Padres haven't won more than 4 games in a row. It is going to take a run kind of like the Mets are having. We kind of assumed that this series, one team was going to kind of come up and continue their momentum, and one team was going to kind of be who we thought they were. And as of tonight, round 1 goes to the New York Mets. That doesn't mean the Padres can't win this series, but right now, it really, really hurts. Let's get into this massive donation, man, from Robert Mail. $99, man. I appreciate it. Robert, what the fuck, team? How did we not cash in on those opportunities? Well, listen, I'm cashing on that. I'll tell you that. We'll get into our sponsor, Wager Lab. But, Robert, this has been, thank you. Let's get some top hogs in the chat for Robert. Then we'll hear Wardy what has to say about his Mets. But this has been the MO for the Padres all year long, Wardy. They have opportunities. They have many opportunities. Yeah. And they just can't get it done. No. And runners in scoring position, they can't get it done. And you saw every time that they made a mistake, then they followed up with good play. Yeah. Right? Every time Ha-Seong Kim makes the mistake, Soto has an opposite field double. Yep. After they allow 4 runs in the top of the 10th, what happens? Machado goes deep when it doesn't matter. And we want to blame the players. This is where you blame AJ Preller. When you have no depth in your bullpen, you have to rely on guys like Tom Cosgrove and Brent Honeydick to get you big fucking outs in the 10th inning when it doesn't happen. Robert, thank you so much for the $100 donation. I would give you more love. We're also on Wardy's channel, but this is all one community. We really, 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 really appreciate it. But honestly, tell the people, I mean, how big of a win is this for your Mets team, Tyler?
Oh, this one is huge because we saw them have their amazing series just now over the D-backs. To sweep the D-backs, to get Kodai Senga going 8 innings of 1 earned run ball, to get Carlos Carrasco going 8 shutty. I mean, no one would have imagined that with the way this Mets team has been performing as of late, and having the offense to back it has been huge. Look, for every Mets fan out there that knows me, knows how pessimistic I've been of this club all year long. I'm the most optimistic fan you'll ever meet. You know that very well. And I've had nothing, truly nothing to be positive and really happy about on a night to night. I mean, we've had great viewership over the past month and a half, 2 months on the channel, but it isn't because of the Mets winning. It's because of Braves fans feeling, what I'm going through and, either loving it, reveling in it, or because they're sympathizing, or other opposing fans or Mets fans themselves that are grieving, and we're all in this therapy session together. So as a Mets fan, I certainly relate with the frustration. I mean, I never would have expected the Mets to get on a run that they're currently on. I'm so happy that they are. It's well on overdue, but it's better late than never as we're still pre-All-Star break. So again, the Mets are currently 4 games now below 500 when they were 10 games below 500, what just felt like a week ago. So this win is absolutely huge. It's a momentum builder. A couple of things I want to highlight, and then I'll pan this back to you, Hog. Let's just go through briefly what transpired in this ball game for the ones that maybe didn't watch the entire thing. I'll go through it in a nutshell as I always do. Again, both myself and Borna, we were at the game today. Petco Park is honestly, I love Citi Field. Petco Park takes the cake. I've never been to a ballpark like this. San Diego, best city I've ever been to. It is un-effing believable. I cannot say enough great things about this area, about the park, and about the fans. Seriously, Padres fans are awesome. I have no ill will with them whatsoever. We had a fantastic time, and it truly was a fantastic time, if you will, because Tommy Pham had himself an effing day. Yes, he wasn't necessarily getting a lot of hits today. However, what was he doing? He was having game-huge stopping plays. You saw Hassan Kim later on in the ballgame trying to a double into a triple that Borna was screaming his head off next to me about. That was thanks to the cannon from Tommy to left. Then he gets a huge catch from a towering shot from Gary Sanchez deep to left that just falls short to continue the game heading into the ninth. It's those little things. Tommy Pham has been effing phenomenal for this team, and offensively,
Fuck
no, he's been so good. He's been so good. He's been so good. Just.
He doesn't shut up.
Just
shut up. My turn.
All right, I'll go through the numbers after. Go.
No one gives a fuck. No one.
They give a fuck.
No one gives a fuck.
They give a fuck. They give a fuck about Lindor.
No one gives a fuck. I'm not gonna let.
They care about Alvy.
I'm not gonna let this guy take control of the whole fucking stream. Okay, Padres fans, I am your voice. I am the voice of reason. And this entire season has been unbelievable suffering. You have seen Bob Melvin in the post-game press conferences just fucking depressed, sorrow, sad. And the lack of depth now in this Padres bullpen, it's just getting so ridiculous. And look what they had to do tonight. They had to use every single person in their pen. My Hog Pen Award can't even cover it up.
Yeah, that's brutal.
And I want to talk really quick about you, Darvish, and then I'll let you get back on it.
No, go talk about you. How do you feel about you right
How frustrating is it right now, guys, with you, Darvish? How frustrating is it right now with you, Darvish? This guy, Padres fans, his command all over the place. His fastball command all freaking over the place. And it's been like this all year long. Honestly, quick question for you. Then I want to get into our sponsor, Wager Lab.
Yeah.
How concerned should you be as a Padre fan about you, Darvish?
Concern level? I mean, he just came off of a sickness, right? So this was his first start in what, 10 days? I wouldn't put a terrible amount of stock into this start in particular. However, the control is an issue because this is something that we've seen with you not only this year but in years prior. Like this is what happens when you have at least a 5-pitch mix that you does, if not 6, right? He has a lot of different pitches, and a lot of times he doesn't locate well. But what we've seen in years recent with the Padres and other clubs is that he's found a lot of success even if he isn't locating. He just has a lot of movement on his pitches. I mean, specifically the pitch that struck out Alvarez today, which I think was a sinker. And I mean, it sorted him completely. Again, good pitch, but Alvy was just, he was pressing there because he's just so jumpy and happy to be in the bigs right now and has been tearing the cover off the ball. So that was a good example of not a great pitch. However, Alvy just looked like a fool being a kid. And you're going to see more and more mature hitters how they are nowadays. They're not going to act in that kind of kiddish way. And that's an issue for Darvish. And I do think that there is certainly a concern level on his front, but that hasn't been the biggest concern this year. The biggest concern, has been your lackadaisical offense, which makes no sense given the amount of star power you have in that club.
And speaking of star power, that's the reason why I wanted to bet on our San Diego Padres to defeat the New York Mets, guys. So Wardy and I were really proud to announce we're teaming up with our good friends over at Wager Lab. And Wager Lab is the new shit. I'm telling you what you can do. It's peer-to-peer betting. I bet Wardy tonight that the Padres were going to beat the Mets. How it works? Well, here's the situation with how it works. I was going to go to Wardy and say, hey, tell him how it works over at Wager Lab.
Yeah, no, what I love so much about this game is because you literally play peer-to-peer. So if Borna sends me the Padres money line as a bet, I have to counter. The only way I can play with him is if I bet on the Mets money line. Thankfully, I came out the winner in doing so. The same applies if, say, he takes the under on runs in the first inning, I automatically have to take the over. The same applies with, amount of runs scored and say through 5 innings, whatever it is. So I won 2 out of the 3 wagers that we did tonight, and Borna, of course, lost 2 out of the 3, and you win credit in doing so. And what you can use that credit is turn it into actual dollars, or you can win various types of prizes that you would like as a baseball fan. So Wager Lab, we're very happy and excited to be partnering with them. And what do you have to do to sign up exactly, Borna?
Guys, literally on your screen right now, it supports us out, and we can make bets. We just made a bet with Glick on Wager Lab as well. All you got to do, get your phones out, get your smartphones out, and literally download, scan that QR code in your camera app, and you literally can join and play with me and Wardy tomorrow. We want all of you guys in the stream, and Wardy's stream and my stream, sign up for our good friends and help and play with us over at Wager Lab. And if you want to watch the Padres suffer like I do and watch the Mets spring like Wardy does, please go ahead and do so. Where did this game turn in your opinion today? Where did this game turn?
Where did this game turn? Honestly, it's hard to say. I want to say it was when the game got tied up in the Mets' favor 3-3 when Vogie drove in that tying run. However, it really just didn't turn until we got into extras, because we saw there, let's talk about that dramatic 9th, for example, right? The Mets had bases loaded, less than 2 out. I looked at Borna. Borna's freaking out. I was like, Nick Martinez, I swear to effing God, of course this is happening. And I see Starling Marte's up at the plate. And what did I do? I looked at Borna right away. I'm like, this guy is unfortunately a double play king. Seconds later, and I know he spoke it into existence, so shame on me, even though it didn't hurt the Mets in the end because they still won. He has a little tapper. They get the out at home, and they get Marte out comfortably at first. Then as we head into the bottom of the 9th, the Mets were able to get out of that unscathed, which is absolutely huge, but it was the extras. I mean, you had Cosgrove, who's, again, a Walmart Musgrove, I suppose, for the Padres, a southpaw. I mean, he got barreled. He got his tits lit right away. Jeff McNeil, who has been anything but good consistently with his bat as of late over the past really 2 months now, he rips one down the first baseline to drive in the Mets' first run right away. And then Francisco Alvarez says, how you doing? I'm only getting my 4th hit of the night. And yes, I'm 21 years of age, and I have a WRC plus at 121. Why? Because I'm an absolute beast. I lead all baseball.
He is good.
I lead all baseball at home runs as a catcher. So he goes.
One thing.
Yeah.
Where's everybody tuning in from on this awful Friday night for me on this glorious?
Where is everybody tuning in from? I'm in San Diego, and before we break down a little bit more about the ball game, thank you guys all so much for my donations. If I don't get to all of them, I do sincerely apologize. I'll try to address a couple. Let's see. GD, thank you so much. Says, I hate the Padres, but the city is beautiful. The park is incredible. And the fans are great. With that said, F the Padres. Hey, Jack, thank you for the donation. I love Francisco Alvarez. He needs a contract this year. I agree. Thank you so much, 1200. Darvish ain't no Sapucky. Appreciate that donation, too. But I want to say this. As you guys can see, I'm in Hogs HQ, so he's going to be.
That McNeil hit was so lucky.
He needed that more than anyone. His confidence has been so low, and dude, he yells F-bombs for days with every single out. He gets in his head quite a bit as a mental hitter. Again, the reigning NL batting champ, for that matter. I mean, we expect so much better from Jeff, but I just want to say how much I appreciate the hospitality. A year ago, Borna reached out to me. He's like, hey, we should do a collab. I'm like, okay, we could do that. A year later, we're really close friends. We're great business partners. I'm just so happy to be here. And obviously, I'm really happy to be talking about a Mets win, but I'm just, everything about San Diego is effing phenomenal. I cannot emphasize enough how great this place is.
And our night's just getting started. Now, let me respond to some of our donations. Robert, man, you have been a monster donator for the channel as of over the last 2 weeks. Guys, one more time, we're going to do a quick Top Hog Hogwash, and I want everyone to get Top Hogs in chat for Robert. Top Hog, again, I'll make it really quick since we're on Wardy's channel. Ha-Sung Kim, again, for the San Diego Padres, proving, I know he made that base running mistake, but he is the best player at the plate right now, and the Hogwash goes to Matt Carpenter, doing absolutely fucking nothing at the plate. And another Top Hog Robert Merrill with the $50 donation is just helping the channel continue to plow through every single day. We really appreciate you, Robert. Barron with the $5. I know everyone wants to pile on Kim, but what about Gary Soto and Toddy today? I know I'm biased, but I know we don't have a Kim problem. No, I'll tell you right now, Ha-Seong Kim has been the biggest surprise for the San Diego Padres all year long, Barron. What about Soto, Toddy today, Gary? I mean, listen, the Padres, as weirdly as it sounds, they produce when Bogarts and Cronenworth produce. When those guys have good days, the Padres have good days. When they don't have good days, they don't have good days. Did you see what Xander Bogaerts did tonight? I don't know. What did he do? He was 0 for 4. Okay, Crony was 1 for 4. They were 1 for 8 combined. Usually the Padres are going to lose, Baron. It wasn't Kim. It wasn't Taddy. It wasn't Soto. Thanks for the dono.
Mets hitting numbers again because I haven't looked at them.
Yes. Let me get into this last solution. Get the Met fan out of the stream. Yeah, they're annoyed with you. Robert, thank you.
Baby.
Robert, thank you so much for the donos, bro, man. Guys, I'm pissed. I'm really mad. We were actually with some of our lady friends at Petco Park, and I told Tyler, too, I freaked out like I would around guys. Doesn't matter, girls.
No, he doesn't. Hog is him. No matter where he is unequivocally him. And I appreciate that about Borna. He doesn't have a filter. You know, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's indifferent, that's Borna. And we had certainly a lot of fun at Petco tonight. And one thing that I really want to emphasize is imagine not having Francisco Lindor in the All-Star game this year. Imagine not having the best shortstop in the NL.
Imagine not having Fernando Tatis Jr. in the All-Star game
Again,
this year.
the point applies. And on top of that, Dansby Swanson backed down and said, you know what? I'm not going to play in the All-Star game. So you know what the MLB did? They put in Perdomo from the Arizona Diamondbacks. He doesn't only have a less WAR than Lindor. He doesn't lead Lindor in any statistical category besides potentially batting average, which in today's game of baseball, you know how little that is. And since Lindor has had his second child and around what I think it's been 30 games, a good amount of games, however long it's been now, he's batting well over 300. He has a 700-plus slug. The guy's OPS is through the roof. He's 8 for his last 10, had a home run and a absolutely massive and game-breaking open the door wide open 2-run single tonight. I mean, Frankie's locked in. If you don't think Lindor is here and is going to go on to lead all shortstops and home runs, RBIs this year, then I don't know what to tell you. He's on a 40 home run pace, 120 RBIs. I mean, I feel like that's kind of decent, Borna. Like, I don't know. I find it hilarious how the MLB goes about the All-Stars.
You want to know what I find hilarious?
What?
Not hilarious. Ha-Seong Kim's hurt.
No.
Ha-Seong Kim jammed a toe, kicking something in frustration after getting thrown out of third.
Holy shit.
Day to day. All the Padres guys. Ha-Seong Kim. So, guys, now Ha-Seong Kim is day to day.
At least it's day to day, and you're going into the All-Star break.
This season's an absolute shit show.
That's a very Mets thing to do. That's a very Mets thing to do. We're two the same in that regard. So
I'm done. You got anything else to tell the people? I'm done, guys. I'm fucking over it. Let's go out tonight, guys. Come. Let's go to downtown tonight, chat. Nah.
Wait. Before we go, we got David Pearson on the bump for the Mets. We got Blake Snellzilla on the bump for the Padres tomorrow. We'll probably be back at Petco, and we'll probably be streaming here again tomorrow night. What is your final score prediction tomorrow?
Team's going to lose tomorrow again. They're going to win Sunday. People are going to be like, ooh, are they back? Padres team's done, chat. My biggest concern with the San Diego Padres team, will they move off parts? I'm not saying fire sale, but can you move off Snell, who's pitching tomorrow? Every start for Blake Snell is very important now for his value. What do they do? One other question I actually want to ask.
Okay, go ahead.
Guys, I understand Josh Hader pitched 3 straight games, but Josh Hader didn't pitch yesterday. It was an off day. If you want $100 million, I know Emmanuel Clase would have pitched. Josh Hader should have pitched today. The team needs these games. Josh Hader has a 1-week break in less than 100 hours. Okay? Josh Hader needs to pitch this game, and we now know it's up to him. I understand he pitched 3 straight, but he didn't pitch yesterday. I'll say it again. Josh Hader needs to pitch this game. And he didn't do that. And that's that.
As a Mets fan, and all Mets fans watching on WardyNYM can certainly relate, bullpen management, lack thereof, yeah. We know that feeling damn well when you're supposed to use guys that you don't use. We've seen many times. The first game that pops in my head right away is that game in Philly, most recently, right, where the Mets got, did they get swept that series? Or no, they lost 2 out of 3. And David Robertson wasn't utilized in a key spot. And I'm trying to think, it was Dominic Leone or Jeff Brigham, guys absolute tits lit. And that was just one of many examples where it's like, all right, D-Rob probably should have been put in that situation, and he wasn't. So yeah, us Mets fans can certainly relate in that. It's actually a little uncomfortable how eerily similar these clubs have been this year. Heading into this series, it's ridiculous. Both 41 and 46 on the season entering this series tonight. Both swept their previous teams that they faced, that being in the Diamondbacks for the Mets and that being in the Angels for the Padres. And just lack of consistency. The Padres, again, you look at their all-star lineup and you're like, how in God's name could they be struggling offensively? They may have some ego issues I know Padres fans may feel a certain way about. For the Mets, it's like, okay, they've had offense. They've had a good amount of it. They struggled earlier on in the year, but the past month they've certainly had it. But the pitching hasn't been consistent. Their pitchers have struggled to go deep. You've struggled to get consistency from the Verlanders. And at times the Scherzers. Carlos Carrasco has been anything but good. And the list goes on and on. The bullpen. Dominic Leone, TJ McFarland. Guys that should not be here. You might be out, but I'm saying the point stands. Both these teams have been anything but good this year. Yes, as a Mets fan, it feels good to finally have a run. But we're still in a spot where, the only thing that us Mets fans could be looking forward to this year is the potential at wild card, which at least is within reach. Padres fans aren't completely blown out of the door when it comes to the division, unlike the Mets.
Hey, AJ. You're fired. Fired. That's it for me.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll likely be back live tomorrow. That's Borna. This is Wardy, and we're signing out.